My name is Justus Knight. This is Restricted Republic, and how stupid do they think we are? Let's be honest now. The IRS is releasing bulletins at an ever-increasing pace, and now they're deeming everyone, I know this will shock you, as a threat again. It seems to be the government modus operandi as of late, and it's not going to change, and I'm going to show you why, because there's some very basic things occurring that trigger all of this security alert as the IRS goes on absolute lockdown. And why? Well, maybe it's the new Agent Roundup video that they released that maybe has a few people concerned. I'll play that video for you, show you what's going on here, give you the background so you understand how to keep everything in context. Because you're not stupid. Either am I. We do our homework, we do our research, and seriously, guys, is this what the government really thinks of us? Kind of a rhetorical question, I guess. Now, before we go any further, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I certainly hope you will. Hope you love this information. Hope you understand we do everything researched, referenced. You can find those references at restrictedrepublic.com. Go ahead and search any of these videos for yourself. See if you come up with a different opinion. If you do, make sure you put it in the comments. Also, if you haven't yet, we put a membership platform up here as your means of supporting me to bring you more videos, or simply go to restrictedrepublic.com. The platform Lisa, Haven, and I created to bring you the news. So I guess you can say it all started here. By the numbers, the Inflation Reduction Act, which will do nothing to stop inflation. But that's not the story today. No, it has to do and centered around, well, the IRS. So many people talking about it, but I want to get the information straight here. Epoch Times put out this article. IRS starts comprehensive review of safety, security at 600 facilities. Lock everything down because there's alleged threats, although I'll show you at the end, they didn't specify any. And we've seen that happen before, too. If you're going to claim a threat, rather than give thunder to the mainstream media, they can go and say, oh, it's all these conservatives again. Why don't you be specific? You know, I really think all these government agencies need a new PR agency. Someone who could put things into simple context for them. And I'll give you some simple context, because if you want to do what's right, I got a few things I want to point out to you. But let's start here. An abundance of misinformation and false social media postings, some of them with threats directed at the IRS and its employees. Boy, we've heard that storyline before, haven't we? All these social media misinformation, things that maybe go against the narrative, are people who are pointing out some plain and simple details because, well, we've seen this in the past. We've seen the repercussions, and we know exactly who they went after. So why would the American public think now anything's changed? But again, that's right, they think we're stupid, of course. We're conducting a comprehensive review of existing safety and security measures. This includes conducting risk assessments, he said, by monitoring perimeter security, designations of restricted areas, exterior lighting, security around entrances of facilities, and other measures, because we saw how good you did with that on J6. If you haven't watched my videos on the pipe bombing suspect, you'll understand that, well, they can't do a simple search or find anything that's wide out in the open. But I'll give you the entire narrative. Link above. Make sure you go watch that video. For me, this is personal, he wrote in the staff memo. See, that's part of your problem. Everything appears to be personal with the government versus we the people as of late. And that is the problem. And that has to be resolved. None of this should be personal. But they say it themselves. I'll continue to make every effort to dispel any lingering misconceptions. We'll start there. About our work. I'll show you a couple of those misconceptions that he's pointing out. In the memo, he did not identify what threats specifically were made to the agency or staff. I'm yet to see any specific information. So what are they worried about? Well, they're worried about people coming out and saying, hey, you know, you're kind of weaponizing this department. Kind of. 87,000 additional IRS agents. But that's not something you could say out loud. Can't do that. Don't say a word.
It's the massive expansion of the IRS. How sick of a country are you in when Democrats are so proud to massively expand the Internal Revenue Service?
Well, again, that's going to be weaponized and politicized, just like it was under Lois Lerner, where they went after conservative organizations.
Now, Andy, you can't say that. You can't challenge the norm like that. How dare you? Now you've put yourself on the list. But there's nothing to be worried about, folks. Everything's just fine. Ooh, maybe not. It's a horrifying picture, isn't it? IRS coaching college students on how to take down small business owners. You see this article published just prior to the IRS putting out alerts that we got to increase security. Watch everything that's going on. Within the article, it states, and I'm going to show you the video, by the way. Can't see why anybody would be concerned after you watch it, but let me get myself out of the way. Notice the scenario in this IRS recruiting program is taking down a landscape business owner who failed to properly report how he paid for his vehicles. Not taking down a billionaire who uses the corporate jet for private trips. Of course not. Nah, you have nothing to worry about, folks.
An agent that's been in the field for a long time can top out at around $175,000 a year, as well as benefits and retirement. These aren't actual police officers. They're students posing as special agents for the IRS, arresting a man who is wanted for tax evasion.
See, I told you there's nothing to worry about here, because I guess when I was growing up, the IRS to me meant something slightly different. It meant a group of accountants who were looking for legitimate tax evaders. But now all the images we see of the IRS are loaded with fake weapons, bulletproof vests, and chains. That was literally a chain gang scenario being shown there. I mean, that's what they're worried about, and that's how they're recruiting. Not behind a computer. They're not recruiting via the test on paperwork. No, we're seeing none of that. Of course not. It's almost as if it is to instill fear itself. But then they go ahead and ask the question, why is America so nervous? Why are you freaking out? Oh, no idea. Union president disputes rhetoric about army of IRS agents. Tony Reardon, president of the National Treasury Employees Union, told the Associated Press that members have been vocal about their fears and worries about their safety. Well, when videos like that are continually released, it's not going to instill a great deal of confidence or comfort in the American people. But again, that's right. I forgot. How dare I? They think we're stupid, of course, because nothing like this has ever happened. Justice Department admits Obama IRS targeted conservative groups. Nothing like this has ever happened before. No need for concern, folks. Don't know your history. Don't understand your facts. Don't ever research anything. And definitely don't speak out loud about it. The IRS is consenting to a court order that would prohibit it from ever engaging in discrimination. Again, the very fact that you needed the court order to go ahead and do that is terrifying in itself. But don't know your facts. So I give you a few suggestions. Let me be your PR agent for a few moments here, because if you want to instill confidence and go where the money is, well, Facebook paid no taxes despite record profits. Why Amazon pays no corporate taxes. How Twitter can legally avoid taxes. That's the start. Biden's $80 billion plan to beef up the IRS, but you didn't need $80 billion. Could have spent a lot less money to find a lot more money, but I guess that's not what you're concerned with. What is this? Department of Defense Office of Inspector General. Lead Inspector General for operating, this is a report on. The DoD estimates the U.S. funded equipment valued at $7.12 billion was in inventory of the former Afghan government when it collapsed. But let's go ahead and hire all those agents because, man, we're broke. Can't find the money anymore. But we can leave $7.12 billion behind. Can't find any money, though. Wait, hold on. $775 million in additional security assistance for Ukraine. Great list of weapons and artillery. That's phenomenal. $12.2 billion so far. Actually, that number is now closer to $15 billion. But we're broke. And we have no money to spend. But it's okay if they do that. Just go ahead and recruit more agents. Who pays for all that? Oh, that's right. Our tax dollars pay for that. So if you're concerned about our tax dollars, maybe they need to start auditing the U.S. government. It's a start. You'd find a lot more. Biden announces $3 billion in Ukraine. Let's get off that story. Big number, $13.6 billion. Biden may owe as much as $500,000 in back taxes. It's all there. Always has been, but you and I are stupid. Thankfully, like every business in the country right now, Although they're going to try to employ all these people, I wonder where they're going to find them. Hiring isn't at the best rate ever, and with all this negative press going on about things that they, well, have already done and are doing, and not only this department of the government either, I'm sure recruitment is going to be rather difficult. So if I could put any silver lining on the story, that would be it, because a few things in government's not really working out so well lately. GOP lawmakers prepare to probe appalling new FBI whistleblower allegations. Fauci resigns one day after Senator Rand Paul promises to get to the bottom of the origin story. Unveiled memos raise questions about Biden's role in the Trump probe. Well, why would you be so worried about Trump? It's never happened before in history, right? Presidential records found in Clinton's drawer. I think you get the idea. If you want to put the American people's minds at ease, well, your justice should be more even-handed, but of course it's not. We watched the Tea Party and Obama go after them. History tells you what's going to happen, but we're supposed to ignore that. We're supposed to forget about history. We're supposed to live in the present and keep our mouths shut. That ain't going to happen. Not here on Restricted Republic, not with the American people, and all we ask for is fairness. But right now, that's not what they stand for. And so the concern is justified and warranted. Anybody who has any thinking capacity whatsoever would come to the same conclusion. I love you all. Can't thank you enough for being here today. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight, signing out.